let's do this. More MSQ. We are truly indebted to Cole. I must invite him to Razat Han at once. Is there anyone else I can talk to? No Zero? Zero? No? Fine, talk to Urian. Oh, Zero's right here. By simply staying close to you, will I really learn about trust? It is time to proceed with the next stage of your plan! With the tank's transportation thus arranged, our first task is complete. We now pay attention to the second task, to wit, obtaining the blessing of the Elsebar contingent to use the tower we built channeling engineering on the moon. Our destination is Camp Broken Glass. Blah! Yes, we go. Da 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 da. My gosh. I'm suddenly realizing what I have to do to craft and oh my gosh. I did not make new crafter food. Sorry, I'm just so distracted. I should not be distracted. I'm distracted talking about crafting. Here we are again. Glad I am to hear the Garlemald's restoration proceed at the pace. Wait, I want to restore Garlemald. Prairie still is advised I have changed the clothing was suited to these surrounds. Better to blend in. Oh, does he not feel the coal? Is it because he's a simulacrum? Oh. Please be voiced. Please be voiced. Please, I'm begging you, please be voiced. Oh, Salix, allow me to personally thank you for your assistance during the recent Void-Set incursion. Your actions saved many. What brings you here today? Pray forgive us for not sending word in advance, Commander, but we seek your cooperation in a matter of great import. Yes, very much import. Indeed, we appreciate you consulting us instead of taking to the unilateral action. It is no simple matter to activate the Tower of Babil. I speak not only of its technological challenges. Personally, I think we must consider the emotional impact of such an action above all else. Though we have yet to re-establish a governing body. Wait, let me mute. We personally refer to those who remain here as the Garlean community. Oh my gosh. Better than facing a mass invasion by Golbez and his Void-Sent hordes. And yet, were we to convey your warnings to the public, many simply do not understand the workings of the magic of the rift. They will struggle to comprehend why they must be forced to relive personal horrors for the sake of something they cannot imagine. What's there to imagine? Haven't these people seen Void-Sent with their own eyes? Let us suppose you encounter someone who is freezing in this cold. A natural thing to do might be to make them a fire, yes? That should be the natural thing, but Zero doesn't care. But what if that person's sole experience with fire is being badly burned by it and they harbor an acute fear? Despite the benefits, the necessity of the warmth you offer, they may flee on instinct, or worse, misinterpret your actions for aggression and lash out. So, like the fire that torments as an individual, the Tower Babil torments the people of Garlemald. Yet we cannot afford to falter here. We must find a way to help them overcome their fear. I agree. To that end, the contingent will assist in however we can. We should speak with Alphino and Alice. With the rapport they have established with the Garlean people, I dare say they can provide us with valuable insights. In the meantime, Urianje, might I ask that you remain here to oversee the technical aspects of the tower's activation? Da 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 da. If truth be told, have you approached us with your petition earlier, we would like to have declined it, but the situation is simply too precarious. But the people have all begun to pull themselves up, and I dare hope they will lend an ear to your words. Alphanod! We get to speak with the twins again. Remember how they said they were always like, oh, you know, we're not gonna see each other for a while and stuff like that, but no, we're already seeing we've seen pretty much all the Scions this entire MSQ. Literally so many of the Scions. Alice! I knew you wouldn't be able to stay away. I've taken the liberty of explaining our objective. To dread fire, even when one is freezing, to become a prisoner of one's fear, 'tis a fate which voids and can succumb. Hello. Please be voiced. This one, please, I'm begging you, just be voiced. No! I'm glad to see you, Salax. Breach has explained our present dilemma. There's no unfounded concern that the Garlands may take poorly to the very activation of Tower of the Bill. That's putting it mildly. Many would be up in arms and over it. Trust in the Ilsabard contingent is fragile enough. We need to tread lightly or we risk jeopardizing everything we've achieved. What you thinking, Zero? Trust again. Yes, we need to get this trust. Well, it seems there's not for it but to speak with the people. Rather than hopping on about the necessity of the plan, we need to lend an ear to their concerns. Then perhaps we can begin working outwards towards a compromise. In that case, I'll take you to meet the community leaders. They're at a station called Senatus, near the Cenaculum Imperialis. I'd be honored to speak with them, though it would be prudent to learn where the people elsewhere stand as well, but that I will leave to others, save Zero. Might you accompany me? Zero! I'm sure those in Tappert's Den will have their opinions. Happen on my own if I drag you along. Tertium, we leave to you. You are no stranger to the people here, so it should take little prodding to convince them to speak freely. Yeah. Then it's settled. Once you've learned what you can, let's all meet in Forum Solius. The Forum of the Sun. There's a bunch of people to talk to. Okay. Hey, we need you to be okay with us reactivating the tower. The tower is unnatural. She did not want to deal with that at all. What about you? Do you care? Oh, they are traumatized. Holy cow. Like, I would not want to mess with that. I mean, like, provoke them. They are literally just traumatized. Tower Babil? If you say it's necessary, then that's good enough for me. Well, some people trust us, but not everybody, I assume. Are you out of your mind? If you want to do something for us, tear the bloody thing down. There's one more. This one's like way in here? Yeah. Whatever its present state, the Imperial Palace was once the pride of Garlemald. I mean no disrespect to using yours, but shouldn't the Garlean people be its caretakers instead of foreigners? Though if we dared speak thus to some of the contingent, they might make assumptions, cut our rations, or... Oh... They really are afraid of the contingent. Yeah, we have to speak with Zero. Why Zero? Shouldn't we be speaking with Euless? Da, da, da. Emmy's on the red moon. Mm-hmm. Euless is on his way with the others. I hope you found the people more receptive than we did. Oh, they're wearing the Alzadal gear. Lords Neus and Medius, magistrates of our political council. They have been spearheading the efforts to establish a new system of government here. When we have raised the subject of a Tower of Babel, they insisted that we speak no further until joined by representatives of the Ilbasavard contingent. The Alphanot and Alice have yet to arrive, though, so perhaps we should wait. Doesn't matter if some of you are present, we simply wish to make one thing perfectly clear, that the Tower's manifestation of Garlean ingenuity and authority. It was once the abode of the Imperial family and will forever bear tremendous cultural significance. It's insulting that we had to suffer foreigners occupying it under guise of rendering aid, and now you propose reactivating it? Nay, we've had enough. These people are so rude, stuck on their ways. We came here to assert our unequivocal claim to our territory, guard them all, and all that lies within our bounds are beholden to no one. They are pissed. Well, this is not ending well. This is not going well at all. Literally, like, yeah, this went bad. This is bad, bad, bad. Okay. Euless? Euless is eager to get out of the cold. Since their excellencies have resolved to negotiate with the convention, I will escort them to Tertium. Lord Medius. By your leave, my comrades and I would speak with the rest into the Senatus. Though the Ilsavar contingent holds Tower Babel, it is I who wishes for it to be reactivated. Thus, I think it would be that I be present for this discussion. Yet my understanding of your people's hardships, of their hopes and desires, of their dreams of the future, is sorely lacking. In my ignorance, I would struggle to contribute. Lest you worry, I will not plead our case to the community in your absence. I wish to only identify a common ground, upon which we might build a relationship that seeks us overcome our differences. Very well, but know that the guards will not hesitate to escort you from the premises should they judge your actions to be inappropriate. It is settled then. You should all head to Senatus. I will join you after I see the Excellencies safely to Tertium. We must go. What a scary meeting spot. You want me to go over there? Gosh, imagine not having your ether currents. Literally, you would have to hoof it all the way down this street. Look at this mess. You would have to run this way, you would have to run there, you would have to run over here, you would have to go over this rock. There's a Fade boss for some reason here. There's a cutscene over here apparently. But yeah, you would have to run all the way down this street just to get over to the place. I am not prepared to get any melds yet, Scott. I need better melds. My melds are not good right now. I'm gonna have to redo them after stream. I'm given to understand that outsiders aren't normally permitted so much as a glimpse inside. We should consider ourselves fortunate to be given this opportunity. I hope it'll be worth the trouble. As do I, Zero, as do I. Let me in. The basic design is reminiscent of Tertium, although somewhat embellished. I've never been in Senatus. To begin, I propose we split up and ask the residents for their views on the Ilsabar contingent and the current state of affairs. We should do well to learn more about the Enclave itself. Should you observe anything of note, pray to keep it in mind. It is through open hearts and open minds that I believe we may convince their leaders to work with us for the greater good. Pile of crates. Alex, what you doing grabbing a pile of crates? The Enclave is highly reliant on the Alliance for raid. I love that we're in another Enclave. Not the Doman Enclave, but an Enclave. You're reminded of Troya. Hey, Mr. What do you think? Yeah, what do they use Al-Zadal gear? Yeah, they're very conflicted. Yeah, this basically looks like Tertium, but better. Marshawn? A barrel of ceruleum. Yeah. That is a lot required, Scott. Pelagia. That's a really nice name, actually. I'm a soldier. I try not to think about politics at all. Our leaders labor to preserve our culture, our way of life, what remains of it at any rate. I trust them to do what's best for Garlemald. You might need a little bit more stats, Scott, because you also need to consider GP. The optimal amount for GP is 900. Finished touring the Enclave, have you? What were you able to learn? A lot of drama. Much the same then. They accept the contingent's help out of necessity and harbor a marble of resentment. They have only themselves to blame. If they don't like the bargain, they should reject it. How many times must I tell you it's absolutely out of the question? Oh lord, who's yelling at who? Oh, it's an Elizan. What's going on? We were wondering the very same. We came running when we heard shouting. What is all the matter? Oh, no, I was just trying to explain. Mayhap you can clear this up. The contingent has made a reasonable request, but this man insists that it's impossible. It concerns the Magitech weapons that run rampant throughout Reggio Urbanissima. Every time we deliver supplies here, we have to dispatch extra men to defend against potential attacks. To address the issue once and for all, we propose the elimination of all Machina that lorded near the supply route, but you heard it. They refuse to even consider it. The magistrate have already spoken to this matter. Rampant or no, those more Machina are Garlean assets. Furthermore, who is to say they are as dangerous as you attest? It has been suggested that this could be a pretense to scavenge Magitech material for your own ends. I know not what is the case, but the fact remains we cannot allow you to destroy them. More speculation by the magistrates, I presume. Ridiculous, but they have spoken. Unless we want to inflame tensions further, there's naught we can do. What is Zero thinking? How complicated relations become when not grounded in a clear and equitable arrangement. Yeah, you're used to contracts. An equitable arrangement, of course. Well, I do understand the difficulty of your position. As a soldier, you must do your duty and obey your superiors. But I have an idea, but first I must speak with Commander Lucia. May I take charge of this matter? By all means. He's shocked. This guy's done with us. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, where we might discuss a solution I believe will satisfy all parties. Da, 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 da. Speak with Maxima. Not Maxima. They want me to speak to Maxima? Sag. I guess I like him, but also... I'm joking, I'm joking. What I'm not gonna joke about is how much of a hike it is to get over to this office. Earnest Envoy. Oh, this is the Ellison man. Who is this person again? Oh, they don't know Maxima. Ah. Alright, Maxima. I know you had some involvement with the role quest, actually. It was really cool. You also do the Endwalker role quests. Welcome back, all of you. I pray there have been positive developments in your efforts to appeal to the Garlean community. Mayhap not yet, but there is a method by which we all stand to gain. As a satrap, I intend to propose a trade agreement between Radzat Han and the people of Garlemald. Oh, Radzat Han. Please continue. The people of this nation have lived through its collapse and more, yet they have chosen to remain, for it is their home. They have been able to survive thus far thanks to the Ilsabard contingent, or rather in less flattering terms, they are entirely at your mercy. Despite your noble intentions, this one-sided relationship has fueled feelings of frustration and resentment. 'Tis no surprise that some Garleans are loath to engage with foreigners for fear of indebting themselves further. This is why I wish to present them with an equitable agreement, one that should restore them a sense of agency after having been forced to rely upon charity. Easier said than done. What exactly do you have in mind? Long have Garlemald and Radzat Han abided by a treaty of non-interference. Really, they have traded with one another, and I wish to but continue in this tradition. We would provide your people with what supplies as you require. In return, you'd grant us the leave to use the Tower of Babil, as well as share your Magitech resources and expertise. As we become more reliant upon your technologies, you'll of course require more ceruleum to fuel them. Thus, this you possess in abundance, and for it you will be duly compensated. Radzat Han's culture will be enriched by your Magitech wonders, and our ever-increasing demand for your wares will see Garlemald grow wealthy and prosperous. Only when both sides keep the interests of the other in mind can an equitable relationship be forged. 'Tis a principle I once thought I understood, but I've come to appreciate it in the more recent days, thanks to the sage counsel of a friend from beyond the rift. 0. 0! Your Excellency, thank you for your careful consideration of Garlemald's future. Though I cannot speak for every Garlean, I see myself no reason to object to your proposal. Indeed, if Radzat Han were to take the initiative, other nations may follow suit and seek to normalize trade relations with us. If you see the sense in my proposal, then I ask you join me in negotiations at Tertium. Lucia! Oh my gosh, I forgot Lucia lives in Garlemald now. An equitable arrangement. The satrap has a pragmatic vision of the future. Speak with Metius. Holy cow. Please be a voice cutscene. We've been getting a lot of not voice cutscenes. This quest line. What do you have to say, Neas? We finally begin our negotiations. Let's go. Please be voice acted. No. No. They hate me. A crowd you may have brought, but numbers will not intimidate us. The Tower of Babil is ours by right. Nothing you will do will convince us otherwise. Rest assured, it is not our intent to infringe upon the rights of the people of Garlemald. Let us discuss the future. As the satrap of Radzat Han, I wish to establish a new trade achievement between our nations. Da 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 da. The aid we will presently receive will not last forever, my lord. Sooner or later we must stand on our own 2 feet. But to do so, we must secure need to replenish our coffers, and the proposed agreement presents a rare opportunity. 'Tis true we do not want for Magitech and Ceruleum, and foreign currency will be needed to procure such things we lack. It would depend on the precise terms, but I can see the merits. What? I cannot believe what you're hearing. You serve the Emperor, we're a proud patriot, now you're entertaining selling national resources like a common merchant? Like you, I weep for what we lost, but if we were to rebuild Garlemald, we must make use of few precious assets that remain to us. Nonsense, utter odd nonsense. You're a traitor, Naeus, and there will be a reckoning. Oh yes, when the people of Senatus learn out of this, they will cry out for your blood. Oh no, not the schism. It isn't safe out there. We have to follow the guy. You're gonna eat a cookie before hey, you know what I didn't prepare, Scott? I didn't prepare gatherer food or crafter food. So, I know for a fact for crafting, we are going to need food. Like, without a question. For gathering, I'm gonna see if I can get away with no food. But those GP materia are expensive. Bonds of trust. Concern is writ plain on Ulysses' face. Da 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 da. Oh, that's the spot everybody was stuck in cutscene for. You don't think the food's that bad to make? I think it's pretty bad. I'm lazy. Git is doing Island Sanctuary. I know what Git is. Git's an Island Sanctuary main. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, that's a smart idea, Scott. I just need so much GP. Not MGP, but GP. Somebody managed to grab an ad into the middle of everybody trying to do a cutscene. Oh wait, I'm under attack. There we go, now I put myself in cutscene. I love, this is a long cutscene apparently, like look at this. There's so many people here. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be such a long cutscene. Please be voiced at least, please be voiced.
Praise the system.
Yes!
Don't think I'm indebted to you. I never asked for your help.
Would you have rather ended up dead on the ground?
You love Garlemald dearly, Lord Metius. That much is plain. But you're not alone in that. We all mourn what has become of our homeland. Bristle at having to rely upon outsiders simply to survive the cold. Even now, I struggle with fear and uncertainty. Day after day, I ask myself, what is right? Where do we go from here?
That makes sense.
I've yet to find the answers. But I won't stop looking nonetheless. And I won't avert my gaze from our grim reality.
Is there hope for us?
Oh, yes, there's hope.
Aye, so long as we live.
Yeah.
Garlemald lies in ruins, but the bonds between us will never be broken. We are the chain that connects generations past and future. You and I, it's links. Help us, Lord Metius, for all we have been and for what we may yet become. Please.
He is not
To be
okay.
lectured by the young man. It ill becomes a man of my station.
You're old, dude.
I will rejoin the talks at Tertium. Might I trouble you to escort me?
Old man.
Elwipard, I apologize for my discourtesy. I owe you my life, and I thank you.
Or Garlemald. A new Garlemald, anyway. With not an
Yes,
absolutely
wait.
awful king.
I'd like a word. With you as well. I'm to stay close, after all.
Oh yeah, because I'm supposed to stay close with her. Huh?
Worry not, we shall see the magistrate safely back to Tertium.
Yes.
What is it?
You bound that man with trust, didn't you? That's why he did not require coercion to return.
Yeah. Bound? You don't have to say like bound. Yeah, I don't know. Salix doesn't know what's going on either. Zero. She's so expressionless.
Shall we walk, perhaps? Chilly, standing around here. So that's how Zero came to join you.
Zero.
Still,
Zero.
I'm not sure I'm qualified to explain something like trust. I wouldn't describe myself as a sociable person. Before all this, any free time I had, I spent looking after my brother and sister.
Aw. Euless.
As for the magistrate, I only told him what's been on my mind of late. But I wouldn't have done so, I think, if it weren't for the twins' influence. Trust is infectious, in a manner of speaking. When someone believes in you, it makes you want to believe in them, in others, in yourself. Perhaps it's because the magistrate felt that earnestness that he gave us a chance. As I did, after I was caught trying to steal provisions from the enemy.
The enemy.
Trust comes easy in
The
such
enemy.
company.
Little wonder my world is devoid of it. No one trusts in you, and so you trust in no one. And round the wheel turns.
Round the wheel turns. Zero's memories.
During the Contra Memoria, we had already come to judge one another based on strength and usefulness. You either used or were used. Those who rejected this rule didn't survive.
Zero.
My mother wanted to save the world, to fulfill the hopes of Memoria's good and true. After she died, I carried on her mission alone.
Alone? Didn't you have anyone to help you?
Mm.
Almost. 2 men tried just the once.
Ooh, which man?
A swordsman and a mage,
And a
whom I met when
mage.
passing through a village. They had saved the people there from corrupted Memoriates.
Oh my
When they
gosh.
learned our enemies were the same, they seemed heartened.
That makes sense.
They claimed to be soldiers of a kingdom called Baron, and were traveling the realm in search for means to end the Contra Memoria. They invited me to join them. I refused. How could I
Aw.
not, having learned the
I
lessons
wonder if we
of
should
my
know
world?
those guys. Should we know them?
Those who would work with others always have their own motives. I would not place myself at their mercy. I would not be forced to submit. I expected some manner of outburst, some show of frustration at having failed to deceive me. But they simply watched me walk away. I didn't know what to make of it then, but now... Perhaps they shared a bond of trust. Perhaps they were the last ones left who dared. Perhaps they hoped I was like them too. Perhaps it was just an offer, and nothing more. I continued fighting alone. But ultimately I was undone. Overwhelmed by enemies that had banded together.
I love that she used to be a paladin.
I was cold,
Well, I don't think she could actually
in
use white
pain.
magic, like paladin magic. But
Wishing desperately that someone would save me. And as I lay there in solitude, I felt it happen. The breaking of our world. Darkness washed over me, and I was swept into the rift. When I finally managed to return, it was to a world forever transformed. My home, now filled with abominations.
That, Zero.
I had a chance to learn about trust, and forsook it. I never had the power to save my home single-handed. I
But
should
now
have accepted their
you have
invitation.
us.
Had I joined them as I've joined you, I might not have had to face the end of the world alone. But it's all history now.
It's
No amount of
all
reflection
history
or
now.
regret will change our present reality.
Whatever may have happened in the past, you're still here, Zero. Alive. So long as you're alive, there will always be hope, no matter how bad things get.
Yeah, don't lose
What you
hope.
couldn't do yesterday,
That's always been
you
the
might still
the,
do
the thing about
today.
Endwalker.
Think about it. It's plain that you've forged bonds with those around you. If you didn't feel that in some sense, would you have risked your life as you did for a meager ration of boots? I trust you too, for what it's worth.
Here it is again.
That feeling? I think she's talking about that feeling.
The fire that burned in my breast when you came to my rescue. The urge to weep, though there is no sorrow. If this is trust, then what must I do? How do I answer it?
A handshake, perhaps. I'm just gonna go with that. Let's go with something simple. A handshake. Zero's like, a what now? I remember previous patch people
Give
were
me your
actually
hand.
shipping Zero and Euless. Da, 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 da.
It's not something you do constantly, mind. A friend is a friend regardless.
A friend.
You're in queue for
So that's
trial.
what it
Look at how
means.
far ahead you got reality.
Someone you trust.
Enjoy the fastest DPS queue you're ever gonna get. You can look. I know you can't see Salix's face in any of these scenes, but we all know what he's doing. He's looking like right now. To the moon, the moon. Oh, not Xenos. I forgot he reached out for her hand. Oh my god, why are we remembering that of all things? Oh my gosh. What an interesting time to remember it, and what an interesting thing to remember, to put it lightly. When I first met Zero, I wasn't sure of her forthright to a fault nature, but I understand now she's simply an honest soul. I don't consider Xenos anything. I'm glad he's gone. I don't want any of these. Literally, I don't want any. I'm gonna take the elegant silver piece. I literally don't want any of those foods. Alright, it's time for politics. Well, glad I am to see everyone returned. Various representatives of the Garlean community are gathered here on this very moment. I dare say this is an opportunity to announce the trade agreement. You've read the memorandum. I trust you find the terms acceptable? I do, and Neas, pray you forgive my disgraceful conduct earlier. I am ashamed not only of my behavior, but placing the burden of negotiation solely on your shoulders in my absence. You should know that when we brought up the subject of the tower's reactivation to the people at Tabart's Den, some reacted quite strongly. Once we explained it would be to prevent another Void Sin invasion, however, they were more receptive. It's fair to say that the recent episode is still fresh in their minds. I tagged along to deliver a supply of ceruleum. I have to say, I didn't expect to see such a large crowd. My friends and countrymen, lend me your ears. I am pleased to inform you on this joyous occasion that we, the people of Garlemald, have entered into a trade agreement with Radzad Han. To inaugurate our accord, we intend to grant the individuals before you access to the Tower of Babil. In return, Radzad Han will provide us with supplies, which will be equally distributed amongst the settlements of our nation. They're looking. They're looking. They're like, what now? Let me be clear on one point. This is not an act of charity, but trade, a bargain struck between equals, rooted in trust and respect, and it marks a significant step towards rebuilding our nation and regaining true independence. Radzad Han holds Garlean technology and ingenuity in the highest esteem. It is my hope that through this agreement our peoples will mutually enjoy a beneficial relationship for years to come. Now then, we bid you gather around to hear the particulars, that you might convey them to those elsewhere. They're really concerned. Why are you talking about the little girl about it? What y'all thinking? So burdened by hardship and trauma were the people of Garlemald that they were unable to imagine a brighter future. To recognize us as equals, as a nation of something of value to offer to others, that validation alone is enough to rekindle their hope. 'Tis by virtue of this partnership that we may access the Tower of Bavil, a rather timely development given the Ether Tank's impending arrival. Once the tower stores have been replenished, we need but a way to stole a signal to channel energy to the moon, yes? Yes. And you can leave that and anything else on this end to me and Alpha No. Don't need to worry, devote all your energies to the mission in the void. As ever, I am in your debt. Zero. We're going to the void, Zero. You are good friends. Smiling. Next MSQ. Zero? I am not wrong to call them that, am I? Friends. Moments like these give me hope that we still have a place in this world. Both Radzethan and Garlemald stand to benefit greatly from this agreement. It may well mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. Good friends, and coming from her, you know she's not saying it to be nice. Oh, Alice referred to Zero as a her. I know Zero's been like, people really say that Zero's supposed to be non-binary, and I ain't gonna stop you if you want to do that, but just still, she, her pronouns. I don't remember if anybody's ever referred to Zero for pronouns before Alice. Lunar Rendezvous. Urianger wishes to take stock of the situation.
Let us take a moment to review
It's
matters
voice
as they
acted.
stand.
Everybody bless up. Oh, Lord.
Having procured sufficient stores of ether, we may now channel the requisite
Yes.
energy unto the moon via the Tower of Babel.
Yes, we go to Tower
Our
Babel.
work on the star is complete. However, we have yet to receive word from Ishtola as to the state of the lunar preparations.
I remember back when they used to call her
A
Weisstola.
ritual to open the gate,
Weisstola?
and measures to forestall a void-sent invasion. Neither task is simple nor quickly completed. She would doubtless benefit from our assistance.
The very thing I was about to propose. Let us join her above and lend what aid we may.
Yeah.
Ere we set forth, however, Ishtola did bid me relay a message to thee. As thou art well aware, a key objective of our mission is the extraction of thy sister Ashdaya from the void.
If we can get her out of there.
Held captive for millennia and divested of an eye, she is like to be severely weakened. To make good her escape, she shall require aid. Aid that is best provided by a fellow great
So are we
warrior.
gonna try to get 2 dragons through this gate? We're gonna try to shove 2 dragons through there?
Have me go in my true form.
Oh my.
Very well. Like our sire, we great worms are capable of traversing the great expanse. The journey will take some time, but I shall take myself to the moon.
Varshan.
To begin with, I shall return this vessel to Radzethan, that I may have both my eyes.
Oh, I forgot one of the eyes is driving this thing.
And until such time as we find Ashdaya, I would entrust her eye to your keeping.
I forgot we had her eye. Oh my gosh. Ugh, look at that thing. It's just staring at us menacingly.
Will you do this for me?
Yes, but I can't make any promises about being able to keep it. We might need this for something.
We shall contact you via Link Pearl once all is in place on the moon. You need but follow Ishtola's instructions.
Understood. We'll be ready.
We will be ready.
Take care, Zero.
Zero. Zero.
It will be the briefest of homecomings. I'll be back before you know it.
Zero, I hope you do come back, girl, because I'm scared.
In Mare Lamentorum, then. Go
Mare. I love the way you pronounced it. Mare Lamentorum. Love that. Because I also pronounce it sometimes like that too. Mare. Da 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 da. Okay, so at least we resolved a little bit of Garlemald. We did resolve a little bit of Garlemald. So they're on the road to recovery still.